Good evening and welcome to the February edition of the Tucson Macintosh Users Group. Let's all celebrate Valentine's Day, Pluto Day, and National Cabbage Day. My grandmother Inger was fond of calling cabbage nature's whisk broom, as it would clean you out right on down the line. We will gather next on Tuesday, March 17th at this same virtual location. This month, we will be learning how to become a screenshot superstar with guest presenter David Ginsburg. And I'm very happy to say that in the last couple of days, David sent in a membership application with payment. So he's now a member as well. In March, we'll have an Ask Me Anything session hosted by Kevin and a special guest presenter, Marty Gensius, who is also a TMUG member from Ohio. He was going to fill us in on the state of AI, AI being Apple Intelligence and artificial intelligence in general. So I hope you'll be with us next month as well to learn more about uh, Apple Intelligence. They had a question or two here about that. And I'm happy to see that Luis was able to make it with his background from Antelope Canyon behind him. Watch for Zoom to open a survey window. Please put the window to the side and answer the question as time permits. You will need to complete the survey prior to leaving the meeting. Remember, a score of 5 is better than a score of 1. The door prize winner for last month was Tony Ewing. Thanks. Oh, there comes the poll right over my notes. So I'm going to push that aside. Congratulations to Tony. Please subscribe to the TMUG YouTube channel. You can find the link to it in the newsletter you can find the link to it on the newsletter and social media page of tmug.com. We are launching a new meeting Zoom feature this month. Our longtime member, Chris Wesselman, who has been doing the Accessibility Minute for some time, will be switching to Apple Presser, meaning a press release by Apple. And he'll be giving us the lowdown on new products as they are released via press release. This month, he'll be talking about the new and improved AirTag Pro 2, giving us the highlights and a couple of links to follow to learn more. Are there any other announcements that I forgot? Speak now or hold your peace. Do we have any for sales or wanted to buy items from the floor? In that case, we're going to move on to our regular program. And that would be next would be Apple News and Security Update with Ridge. Ridge says he's ready. So I'm going to turn it over to Ridge. See you in a little bit.
Okay, here we are for this month. And we start, of course, with our software updates. And the really important one here is 1Password, and those are using Microsoft Office. And Zoom is now 676. And there were a whole bunch of updates from Apple. Even Catalina back at the OS 10.15. That got a security update. And Big Sur, Sonoma, Sequoia, and Tahoe. But look at all the updates for iOS and iPad OS. So it went all the way back to the 12 versions. So you probably, if you have an iOS or iPad OS device that's probably been updated. So you want to make sure you get the update. And Watch has also got a couple of updates there as well. And Keynote numbers and pages, which used to be part of what was called the iWork applications, have gotten a 14.5 update. And coming, we have a bunch of 26.3 things, some of which may have been released recently. But as of the creation of this slideshow, they were still in beta or coming. Now, the Apple had a fourth quarter financial report. They had everything was up year over year. And you can see the numbers there. And they shipped 19.6 billion iPads, which was up year over year as well. And they also declared a dividend. And on last January 26th, Apple released the AirTag new generation with the second generation ultra wideband chip. And it lets you do precision finding 50% farther away. But in order to take advantage of the improvement, you got to have a compatible iPhone running at least iOS 26.2.1 or later. And that will be an iPhone 15 through an iPhone 17. The prices are same as what the older AirTags cost. And now Apple has officially removed the web page covering the iWork apps. The single web page that covered the iWork apps. Those apps are now contained in a more generic app page that also has the Creative Studio apps, the Apple Arcade apps, and other Apple apps. But on January 28th, Apple officially released Pixelmator Pro for the iPad. And it has now full Apple Pencil support, the ability to work between the iPad and the Mac. And Apple has revised its online ordering process for their computers. Previously, when you wanted to order one of them online, there were a handful of pre-configured options available, after which you could separately update only the features that you desired. But now you got to start from scratch on a feature-by-feature basis. For example, if you're running a MacBook Pro, you start selecting either 14 or 16 inch and a color. And then you got a chance to upgrade the display to nano texture. Then you got to go to find out what series M series chips and core counts you're going to want for that particular MacBook Pro size you selected. And finally, you get to tell it how much RAM and solid state drive storage you want, and you get to choose a power adapter and a keyboard language. So now everything is totally a la carte. Now, Apple has just invited some of the media to a special Apple experience, and that's the icon they sent to everybody on the right. It's going to be held on March 4th at 9 a.m. Eastern in 3 major cities, New York, London, and Shanghai, but there's no other information about what that event's going to entail. iPhone issues. On February 4th, NASA said that their astronauts are going to soon be able to fly with the latest smartphones, beginning with the SpaceX Crew 12 and Artemis 2 missions over the next few months. And Apple said this is going to mark the first time the iPhone has been fully qualified for extended use in orbit and beyond. In health, and Apple in health. A man in his 60s undergoing chemotherapy for his disease and taking a miracle pill every evening along with 3 other medications. And he developed a cough that he thought was chest infection. and he went to a doctor who prescribed antibiotics, but trouble began that night. Severe headache and unable to sleep and nausea. And during that night, his Apple Watch warned him of a steep increase in his heart rate despite being in bed. Eventually, he spoke to a different doctor who suspended the antibiotic immediately, saying it should never have been prescribed in the first place given his ongoing leukemia treatment. But thankfully, no damage had been done, and the man was able to monitor his heart rate with the watch to make sure his heart rate was coming down. The doctor who identified the drug interaction said, "You need to say a big thank you to your watch. You might not have been here without it." Tahoe 26 issues. iPhone owners on multiple forums are reporting crashes, freezes, and other problems with the iOS 26 2.11 update. And we already had one of those reports today in our Ask Me Anything session. And there's online reports that a macOS Tahoe 26.2 update caused a critical bug where the Time Machine backups consumed all available space on the Apple Time Capsule. And attempting to fix the issue by erasing the time capsule rendered it completely unusable due to compatibility problems with macOS Tahoe. Apple is also expected to discontinue time capsule support in macOS 27, which will force users to find other wireless backup solutions for their Macs. And now for the compatibility of macOS Tahoe. And if you got a Mac with Intel chips, these are the Macs that can run Tahoe. The MacBook Pro is 13-inch from 2020 and the 16-inch from 2019. And the Mac Pro from 2019 and the iMac from mid-2020 and later, of course. And Macs that do not run Mac OS Tahoe are the Intel 2019 iMac and the Intel 2017 iMac Pro and the Mac Mini from 2018 and the MacBook Pro with an Intel chip in it from 2018. Here are the latest rumors. On January 27th, Apple's next generation M5 Macs, including the Pro and MacBook Pro and Air and the Mac Studio and a new display, they're reportedly ready for launch sometime during the first half of this year, along with a new Generation 2 Studio display. And a MacBook Pro with an M6 chip in it may arrive earlier than expected, maybe in October of 2026. And that date is the 20th anniversary of the MacBook Pro line. And Apple is supposedly testing a flip-style foldable iPhone. And that's from a leaker in Asia. And still to come, rumored, the HomePod Mini 2 or a Home Hub or a security camera or a doorbell camera. And these are things that some of the online gurus think may be coming. And as far as nostalgia goes, R&R Auction has announced that an Apple check signed by both Jobs and Woz, that auction fetched a whopping $2.4 million. It was a $500 check issued to a printed circuit board designer named Howard Canton shortly after Jobs and Woz opened up Apple's first bank account. And Howard Canton was responsible for translating Woz's Apple I schematic drawings into a manufacturable printed circuit board, which led to Apple's first commercial product. The check is dated 16th of March, 1976, a couple of weeks before Apple Computer was officially founded. And the check is marked number 1. Also sold at the same auction was a pre-production Apple I prototype computer board, and that sold for $2.7 million. Thanks for your attention so far, and now we'll turn to items of security interest. And of course, for software updates and that had security updates, here we go. Adobe, Mozilla, and Microsoft and Google didn't tell us that they had any security fixes, but Apple did. And that Mac OS Catalina 10.15 had security update 2026-001. And then all the iOS and iPad OS operating systems got updates, and they were considered security fixes as well. And the watch got a fix as well. And the fact that there's no new instances of cyber crime being directed at the Mac community this month, it doesn't mean that the ones that we've already learned about before and the last time have ceased their activity. So as we always try to remind everyone, there are some bright spots we can mention. And then Apple, it's good to know that Apple actively updates XProtect and Gatekeeper every month. And also they've introduced in more recent versions of the Mac OS, XProtect Remediator, which is a tool that performs deeper, more frequent background scans to detect and remove active malware infections that may have bypassed initial checks. And they also integrate security directly into the hardware to prevent low-level exploits by means of these two features, one called Secure Enclave, which is a dedicated hardware component that isolates sensitive data from the main processor in Macs that have Apple's M series chips and Intel Macs that have the T1 or T2 chips. And the other feature they have put into the hardware is called Sandboxing, which is a Unix-based system that isolates applications from each other. And of course, there are some stay safe tips from Macworld Online. And here's what they say. To maintain maximum security, keep your Mac OS version current by installing the updates when they arrive. And in addition, they recommend you do not override protections to install software, and do not click on suspicious links in emails, and exercise caution on social media and be wary when connecting to the internet via public networks. And also, it's a good idea to keep an eye on those for whom you are responsible to make sure they're not doing stupid stuff. And thanks for your attention. And of course, the overall moral of this last presentation is to stay safe. And thanks for your attention. Bye now.
Thank you, Reg. I appreciate all your work.
I think I
Need to stop sharing. It's at the top, I think.
Oh, there it is. It's in red. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to turn it over to Chris Wesselman for the Apple press release on AirTags 2. Chris, are you ready to go ahead?
I am ready, Bob.
Go on,
Hi,
man.
everybody. Okay, I just pasted in for a second time the YouTube on the new AirTags. It comes from Mac Rumors, and it pretty much explains the whole thing. Bob also put a short paragraph blurb in the newsletter. And the one thing I left out, and I want to start with that, is one of the things that's new is we can track the AirTags 2 on our Apple Watches. So I don't know about you guys, but I frequently use my Apple Watch to find my iPhone because it gets misplaced or left somewhere, and it's real quick to find out. Basically, very simple on these AirTags. The two main points are it's better tracking and it's a louder chirping sound. And so you're thinking like, okay, do I really need this? So imagine you are on a trip to some different continent and your bags are one of your bag or suitcases didn't go with you and is back in Newark, New Jersey or some fine place. You can now turn that particular AirTag control over to some of the airlines, and I think it's a pretty good growing number, and they will use that to find your suitcase. And for me, this would be a great use case to have a better, newer AirTag which is louder chirping. I don't know about you, but even replacing part of my clothes would probably be more expensive than the new AirTag. So this is pretty much it. That's the story on the new AirTags. Um, I'm debating I'm debating getting a new one for my Apple Wallet. I haven't decided, or for my physical wallet that has an AirTag in it. Um, just real briefly on this whole concept of the Apple press release thing. This is really for subjects that Tony doesn't cover or that we don't have presentations on, but it's something short and useful. And so I hope you find this useful and any feedback is appreciated. So I think that's it, Bob, unless there are any questions.
Chris, there is a question.
Sure.
I happened to come across something that said that they're not recommending you put it on your pet. Do you know why?
Whoa, that's a great question. I don't know. Where did you see that?
I, read the Apple News. It must have been part of that. That's all I can think of.
That
And I,
that comes directly from Apple.
right. And I
Interesting.
didn't read the article because I've been uh, quite busy. So I was interested why that would mean such a significant thing.
I could answer that.
I could too.
Yeah, basically the way AirTags work is if you lose your keys, somebody with a iPhone may walk by it and it'll beep and let you know that that's where your phone is. On a pet, they run. They run in the desert. Chances of your dog or your cat that has an AirTag on it passing someone with an iPhone is very slim. Then by the time it notifies you, they could be miles away.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's health related, although that's what people would probably imagine, think. But like for example, my dog has an AirTag. She has a special collar that is made for putting an AirTag in it. But I set my expectations appropriately, knowing that yes, there's a possibility that she could get out, but also there's a possibility that I might not be able to track her if there's not enough of a peer network where she runs to. Now, in
Right.
this neighborhood where I live, I know that there's tons of iPhones and iPads and Macs around here because I can see them on the network and I know the people, in the neighborhood. But if it was like Kevin said, like out in the desert, like, back here in the park, no, I probably would have a harder time trying to locate her. So, and Kevin, what's the accuracy? Is it like 10 to 30 feet or something like that?
Well, they claim 30 feet, and in reality, I get 15 feet or less.
Yeah, I think they're a lot more accurate than that. But of course, Apple in their fashion wants to, how does it go? They want to under promise and over deliver. And you cannot do that. You cannot accomplish that with a pet AirTag. I just don't think it fits within their MO for that. Kevin, can you speak to the new AirTags? Did Rich just say it? Was it in the report? How accurate is it? Reduced footprint now?
I think
How
it's
many
about
feet?
7 feet.
Yeah.
I
So
seem to recall seeing it's anyway. You can watch the whole thing from Mac Rumors. It's a short video and it'll describe the whole thing.
Oh, and David just
Yeah,
posted into the chat that there's an article on pets and AirTag too. So, and
yeah.
we'll
Okay.
save the chat at the end, and then we can look into that and review it later. But great question, and yeah, hope that helps answer it a little bit.
I had read in an article somewhere that a pet has the potential of chewing it off their collar, swallowing it, and that the battery is
True,
not healthy for the pet to have in their system.
true. Yep, there are those pets. Or another
Hmm.
animal that happened to a neighbor of ours. Actually, another animal might also pull the AirTag off of the collar, and then it's just laying out there in the field somewhere, and it's not, the pet has come home. That's what happened to our neighbor's cat. So they still haven't recovered the AirTag, but they recovered their cat. Just it came home on its own, luckily. So yeah, it's just a matter of setting expectations. And yeah, they could be dangerous if they eat them, of course. So
I can make a comment about that. I have my sister and brother-in-law both have 3 dogs and they have AirTags on all of them. And it hasn't been a problem at all. A couple of the dogs have had for quite a few years. And little cute little dog has it, and she's fine, doesn't touch it.
Yeah, same with mine. The only thing you just don't want to like sound it if you don't have to, because it will irritate their
Right.
ears. So it really
Well,
is for
especially the
emergency.
AirTag too, because it's a lot louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hi,
just
David.
couldn't
Welcome.
Hi,
I couldn't
Melissa.
imagine where I live if a dog got loose. This is all desert up here.
Yeah, you're out in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah,
No air tags for you.
yeah. A little different here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it for me, Bob.
Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
Love your stuff.
Is someone talking?
Did we lose Bob?
Here I am.
Oh.
There
Here
you
I
are.
am muting other people, and I forget to unmute myself. Thanks, Chris. I saw you do that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the main presentation with our guest David Ginsburg, who is also a brand new TMUG member. Thank
I
you
just
very
joined
much for your joining.
yesterday, I think it was.
And how to be. This isn't what he called it at MacStock, but I call it how to
That's
become
okay.
a screenshot superstar.
So much has
Is-
changed over the last 7-8 months, so I have refined this presentation. So there's gonna be new things you'll see, but Bob,
Okay.
that
Very good.
yeah,
Thank you so much, David. And
yeah.
take it away.
Absolute pleasure being here. Nice to see you all. It's nice to see Melissa. I can't believe it's been so long ago that her and I were doing In Touch with iOS together when it first started. I don't mind mentioning that because
Too long. And you're still doing it.
409 episodes. Yes,
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks. And it's been 10 years. You and I started
Oh
the
my
show
God.
10
10
years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
It's old
been a
enough
lot
to
of
ride
fun.
bicycles. It's old enough. Our old podcast is old enough to ride BMX bicycles.
It's right. So, but let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll get started. Thanks everybody for having me here. I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm gonna turn some things on here so I can look good. I even put my little face on here so you can see me on the screen. How's that? Okay. Everybody see my screen okay?
Looks great.
All right, let me just go full screen and we'll get started. There we go. Everybody sees me okay, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Looking good, David.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for having me here. The first, second time I've spoke here at TMUG. And again, if those who don't know me, my name is Dave Ginsburg, and as I mentioned before the presentation, I've been a podcaster for well over 10 years, and In Touch with iOS has been my show for many years. And again, I mentioned Melissa and I started it for the very first time back in those days. I'm on. I just left Mac Voices Live from Chuck Joyner and my friends, and they send their best to you guys. And Chuck said back to you, Bob, that he'll send you a bill. So anyway, so thanks again. It's really great to be back here, and I'm really excited to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is cross-platform screen capture. Today we'll explore how your screen on every Apple device, from Mac OS to Vision Pro and everything in between, will be able to be. You can capture. You can build with some built-in tools, some fantastic third-party apps, and what's new in this area. So this is the agenda for today, and we're going to start quickly what we want to talk about. First of all, I'm going to walk you through some of Apple's own built-in options for screen capture. We're going to dive into some of the top third-party apps, which is going to be Snagit, CleanShot X, and the Bezel app. I'll show you how to take advantage of screen capture, not just on Mac, but right across the whole Apple lineup. We're going to go hands-on with Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, TV OS, Watch OS, and Vision OS. I do have a Vision OS, so I've been having a Vision Pro, I should say. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And by the end, you should be able to ready to capture anything on your Apple device. So why does screen capture matter? Well, pictures and visual makes instruction faster, cleaner, and more accessible. The other reason is there's so much growing need for self-paced support, and whether you are the one that's getting the support, or if you're going to create these things with the tools that are available for screen capture. A screenshot, it's better than 1,000 words. It really is. It gives you some great visual communications and breaks down barriers. Everyone gets the same info, and it's really a great thing to have. And tutorials, bug reports, and collaboration. It's so important to be able to do these three big things. Collaboration, especially when you want to collaborate with other people. Screenshots are a great thing. I use screenshots every day at work. So I work in the corporate world. So I can't think of a day that I'm not screenshotting at least 10 times, I would say. So let's start. Let's talk a little bit about starting off with Mac OS. Mac OS has a screenshots built-in app here. It includes a built-in screenshot tool that allows you to quickly capture and share visual information with just a few keyboard shortcuts. As I show here, you can capture it very easily. And if you see the shortcuts here, these are the four shortcuts you should know if you're going to use the Mac OS screen capture. So just getting the screenshot menu itself, you would type Command Shift F5, and that'll bring the actual menu up. That's up here at the top. If you see it on the top here on the screen here, that little bar where it says Capture and Options. Then you can do a screenshot of the entire screen, which would be a Command Shift 3, and that will do the whole screen. No questions asked. So everything that's on the screen would be captured. And then the screenshot of just a selection would be Command Shift 4. So it's a small little selection. And then this one's always kind of handy is if you want to do a screenshot directly to the clipboard, and that's the Command Control Shift 4, and that allows you to be able to do it that way. And if you notice here, there's a lot of, I did a couple screenshots here as an example. You can edit the screenshots in preview, so it'll bring it into preview. So there's another built-in tool, and of course, Apple did amazing updates to preview in macOS Tahoe. So you do have some great options when it comes to doing screenshots. So as you see here on the right here, this is the sub menu. You can change it to saving to desktop documents to clipboard. You can bring it right into the Mail app, the Preview app, or there are other locations you can do it. Now you can do timers, like if you want to do like a 5 or 10 second timer, as well as you've got other options that you can set as well, including if you want to show the mouse pointer to point things out. So that's macOS built-in tool. Now iOS, this video shows how I created a screenshot by pushing the volume up and volume down, volume up and the power button. And then I want to mark up something, so you can select it with a red pen and mark it up. With the circle and an arrow, I'm going to show you how to save it to files. So here I created this file here and I saved it to the files, and in this case, and this is what I did. I wanted to share this with Chuck, so we had that. So this option here is allowing you to be able to do a screen recording, and this video will repeat, so don't worry. So basically, what I did here is I turned the recording on. But if you notice, one of the things I did make sure I had to do, because it doesn't turn it on by default, is make sure you turn the microphone on if you want to be able to do a narration. So now here I am, I was in ChatGPT, and I was actually starting to talk this, and again, this is because I did Macstock, so you're seeing me, what I asked in ChatGPT. So I can actually show this visually in real time using this when it's showing here, and it talked about what Macstock was and all that stuff. And then I can go back and edit it later. I can trim the video to any way I want. So if because just like anything else, you create a video, you're using something like maybe even Final Cut Pro or even iMovie, you'd be able to edit the video later if you want to. So it's a really great way of doing things when it comes to that. Now here's QuickTime. QuickTime is one of the built-in tools, of course. Then that's the option to allowing you to be able to as another option to be able to share your iPhone or iPad on the screen. So on the Mac, you open up the QuickTime player. You got to connect the cable directly to the Mac. You've got to choose File and then New Movie Recording. Then you want to add a camera on the screen and then choose the mic to use. As you see here, all on these menus I have here showing. And then you select the iOS device as the video source, and then you can record the camera on the Mac. So it gives you that option to be able to record this as well as be able to have it visual. very simple way, very easy, and it's an easy way to be able to do capture. I'm not a huge fan of QuickTime because I love some of these other third-party apps, which I'll talk about in a minute. But you know what? It does things really easy for you. And if it's something you want to get done in a pinch, it really works pretty well. And then WatchOS. WatchOS, you can do screenshots on your wrist. You press the digital crown and the side button for screenshots. So you see the screenshots here on the bottom of the slide here, but it also enables watch mirroring and accessibility. I don't know if you knew how to do that. The way you enable that is you go into the accessibility and you can scroll down to where the physical and motor, and then you turn on the Apple Watch mirroring. And it is showing in this video. The video is repeating here, but you're seeing here. I'm doing my watch in real time, being able to do a demonstration and be able to show what's on my Apple Watch and be able to do an actual demo and discuss it. So in this case, I was opening up some apps. It's going through opening up these things. I opened up the App Store. You see the time that's showing on the screen. I did screenshots, so you see that, and it's basically having your watch on your phone. So if somebody that's got physical motor issues, they can actually be able to challenge it. I should say, you'll be able to do this. And here's where it came back in here, and it's right in Apple Watch mirroring. You just turn it on, and that brings it there for you. So if you if you want to be able to go anything else, this is, like I said, it's great to do demos. It lets you control the watch right from your iPhone, and it makes it handy for live presentations if you want a bigger view. Because nothing like this. I know, like a lot of people like to use webcams, and it's so hard to do this. But if you just want to do a quick, simple demonstration of the Apple Watch, this is a really great way to do it. And now Vision Pro. Vision Pro has the options in Vision OS to do screen casting and capture. tvOS can capture via QuickTime and third-party apps. AirPlay to Mac for indirect recording, so I can AirPlay my Vision Pro as well as the Apple TV to do indirect recording. And then this is really ideal for demonstrations and for presentations and tutorials. It's perfect for demos and immersive experiences. And I'll get to immersive experiences in just a second, because I'm really excited about some things that just came out for Vision Pro. Now, this video I just did the other day. This is a screen capture of my Vision Pro, and what you'll see here is I actually have my Vision Pro on my Mac. I'm sharing my screen from my Vision Pro to my Mac, and it's showing this image. And let me get the video here. You can see my hand moving, and I'm actually in YouTube. Vision Pro app. Google released Vision, the dedicated app for YouTube on Vision Pro. That just happened not even a week ago, probably less than that. It's a few days ago, maybe a week. I think it was a week. But here I'm doing is I'm actually playing a regular video from YouTube, and now I'm going back to it, and you can see I'm just trying to work through it and play it, and I got a bunch of other videos here. This video here is another video showing an Apple TV or showing this here as well, showing you how you can turn the volume up and down. And the screen is very full, and it's really a nice, fun way to be able to do this. But one of the biggest things that Vision Pro did was it added immersive videos. This is absolutely amazing. Again, this is only available on the Vision Pro, and these are actual videos that they have 360-degree views where I'm sitting and looking, and I'm going around in a 360-degree circle, seeing everything in 3D and VR. It's just absolutely amazing. NBC participated in this with the Olympics in Milan, Italy. So there's a couple of pretty amazing, such amazing content. It's absolutely stunning. So what I wanted to do, I know it's really hard to record those and be able to see that in a demo, but I did something the next best thing. These are actual screenshots I did on the Vision Pro, and this is one of the videos. This was a Lavingo snow park, and they were doing snowboarding. And this is a picture. This was a picture of the video as they were playing it, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely breathtaking. It means just being like you felt like you were there, looking at that mountain. This was another view while they're sitting on the lift. As you're seeing, and you can see the crystal clear, amazing picture, and it just gives you just an absolute breathtaking experience. And then this last one, this was an actual close-up because it got really close to this guy as he was doing his thing. So that's what you can experience. If any of you have been able to go do the demo over the Vision Pro, you can get some crazy stuff going on when it's starting to look at you here. And this last one was another run. This was a ski run. And just, again, you see how amazing it is when it comes to the clarity, and it brings the audience right back into the moment, gives you high quality visuals. And this is perfect demonstrations for just like I did. If someone wanted to demonstrate a Vision Pro to show things, you aren't going to get the experience without having the actual Vision Pro on your face and looking at it. But this is the next best thing. Another option for sharing your screen. So let's move on to Apple TV. Apple TV can also be shared to your Mac. I've got this shared and I'm showing you actually the Apple TV as I'm navigating through some of the applications. So I went into the App Store, just showing a couple things, going to Discover. I'm opening up another app, but then I decide, well, you know what? Let's go into the Apple TV app, and we're going to go up and be able to watch a video. This was the F1. Not sure if you hear that sound. I think it's playing. Yes, it is. And that's the sound. So it actually is allowing you to watch a movie. If you don't want to watch it on your TV, you can have your Apple TV connected directly to your Mac and be able to screenshot. Get another part of a video playing, you hear the sound, and it's playing. So really, really cool. And this is a really, really cool way to share your Apple TV. So let's go ahead and move on away from the Apple TV. I don't want to talk about bezel. Let's talk about it's another way to share your devices. Bezel was developed by Mathis Katajic and Tom Lokhorst. I probably butchered their names, but they're from the Netherlands. They just came out with an all new version of 4.0, and Bezel is a Mac OS app that mirrors your iPhone or your iPad in real time using a USB connection. And now they just released this in version 4.0. 4.0 literally came out maybe a week or two ago, that you now can do it wirelessly using adding your iPhone or your iPad. It does allow you to do it wirelessly, but unfortunately they're still working through some of the bugs when it comes to doing audio and screen recording. So you can't do that with wireless yet. So you got to go to the next best thing and just plug it in as you're seeing in this video. It's perfect for developers, educators, and content creators. As you see, I guarantee a lot of the content creators you see on YouTube that are doing a lot of iPhone demos, this is something that they're doing all the time. So you're able to see it in real time. It's real-time iOS mirroring, and it automatically detects and displays the device in a realistic Apple frame. If you notice, here on the screen capture I have here, that's the actual frame of this. In case was my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I have since now got the 17 Pro Max. But you see how it has the menu there, and you can bring it down, and you can set the device bezel, or you can do a screen shape, or you can do rectangular. You can match the colors. It matches the hardware, so it knew what color. In that case, I had the 16. It was the 16 Pro Max. It was the titanium, or it was the it's matching the hardware. I believe it was a titanium. So it does it realistically in that frame. So it's a really, really cool thing, and made it super simple to share. So here's a live demonstration using bezel. And here it is, which it's doing is it's mirroring the display of the iPhone directly onto your Mac screen. The iPhone shown here is the 16 Pro, and indicated on the top bar. And this one is the 16 Pro that's in Desert Titanium. What bezel does is it creates a realistic on-screen frame that matches the physical device, helping you viewers instantly recognize the model that's being displayed. The iPhone is connected via the cable, as we've talked about, automatically detects it, and it mirrors the display. And you notice that the Mac OS desktop is still fully visible. So you have a fully visible display of the Mac OS desktop, and it's behind the iPhone. And this setup is ideal for presentations, app demos, tutorials, and tech support. You can interact with the iPhone on your desk while others are viewing the screen on the Mac. It's perfect for screencasts and additional instructional videos. The one thing you'll notice here is, you see how I'm clicking the record button here. That's built into Bezel. It does the recording for you on screen. It exports it. It brings it over, and you can go back and then now edit this video very easily, not compared to what you would have to go through using QuickTime or some of those other steps I showed you. So it's really, really cool to be able to navigate the iPhone and do the recording, and you stop the recording and it exports it. It's really, really awesome. So what I was showing you before with Apple TV was on using QuickTime. Then this is going to be how Apple TV works with using bezel. Again, you'll see some of the same things I just showed you. The image capture on the Apple TV home screen interface, and it connects a bezel via a HomeKit wireless. So it's got to go through HomeKit to be able to connect to this. It does work. It's got to give you some great demos. It creates a nice background and gives good visuals. As you can see, the menus are moving seamlessly. And again, I'm playing the videos again. You're seeing these videos play. They're playing very seamless. And this goes through the same thing. So this was the video that I recorded a while ago, and you see this navigating through the menu. Very clean. So the one thing bezel isn't is free. It is, but I find it to be a well worth the value of what you can get with this. So you have three pricing structures here. You can do it monthly, yearly, or you can get a lifetime subscription, and you'll get, that's for one user. And as you see, it works with every iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. And as I talked about with the color of the frame, it's a guided setup for new devices. It does auto rotate, so you can do real-time rotation mirroring, detects sleep and lock modes, and it resizes the mirror to true to life pixel perfect. It's a very powerful, stylish native Mac OS app. And then recording a device with bezel is super cool, and that's all the pro features that you see here that is listed. I won't go through the rest of these, but you kind of get the gist. You can do support with Vision Pro with the developer strap. That's a whole nother crazy thing that you have to do. A $300 strap you have to pay to be able to connect it wired to the Vision Pro. But let me tell you, I will talk about that in just a minute, what's new here. But just before that, I want to talk a little bit about iPhone mirroring. iPhone mirroring was added to Mac OS when that started in Sequoia, and in iOS 18, and later it was supported. This feature shows you how to display your iPhone screen directly on your Mac. You can click the iPhone the screen and activate it. The nice thing about that is about using the iPhone mirroring is you actually able to interact with the iPhone on screen with a mouse and with a keyboard. So you can actually click things. When this is hooked up with your phone, if anybody's already tried it, because this is built in and of course it's free, it allows you to be able to interact that way, but your iPhone is shut off. So you can't use your iPhone screen. It's saying it's in use, as you see here on the image here. And then I've showed the other screens here. If the mirroring is locked, you have to put in your passcode to unlock it. Or you can use you can use the Face ID, I believe, as well. So a lot of these features here are in a place where you have to go through and navigate it. Couple of the caveats with iPhone mirroring is it's only iPhone. You cannot use an iPad, which is very sad, and it's very limited on what you can do. But it does make things super easy. And again, it's doesn't have any native recording, so you would have to use third-party recording to be able to record this video. So you could use something like a QuickTime, or you can even use the third-party apps that I'll be talking about in a little bit here as well. So I thought I'd go over that a little bit so people were aware of what iPhone mirroring is. All right. Oh, wrong way. So here's the comparisons. So if you look at bezel has a lot of heavy features here, and you're seeing across some of these things here. QuickTime player is a little limited. There's a lot of things you can't do, like multi-device support isn't available. Everything's USB only, but now bezel has USB and wireless support, and it's going to get even better as they work on audio and screen recording with wireless. And of course, bezel's the one that is not free, but you have the built-in with the QuickTime player. But you're seeing with the iPhone mirroring, there is a lot of limitations. It is wireless. That's one thing that it does have. But it has to go, the only way you can connect it is you can only connect it using your iCloud account. So you can't just walk up to any random Mac and be able to use iPhone mirroring. It has to be on your account to be able to do this as well. So that's the grid here, but I got one more thing with bezel.
There is one more little thing.
They added bezel for Vision Pro. There's a newly added feature to bezel. It just gives you the ability to share your iPhone wirelessly to the Vision Pro. You need the iOS app that's installed as well as the Vision OS app, because there's two apps. The Vision OS has an app for bezel as well as iPhone. This one's showing here displaying the iPhone version, and you can see what you can do on your iPhone. I'm going to show you just a second what it does. That you can you can frame your screenshots. You can actually do customizing things. You can do some beautiful mock-ups doing on your iPhone as you're doing things. it will mirror multiple devices at once. So you can have multiple iPhones. You can also give that a shot as far as sharing that. And also the iOS app also saves frames that you can create. It is a separate one-time $5 cost for the iOS for this on the Vision Pro version, but the iOS app is free. So let's take a look. So this is actually somebody raising their iPhone as they're seeing it on their Vision Pro. You do the screen broadcast, and then what it does, it's gonna, now you actually can see the iPhone on the Vision Pro, and it actually gives you the way of being able to display it. So it's very, very cool, and it's easy to do, and it's going to work very seamlessly. Another way to be able to share things. So, all right, let's change gears a little bit here, and let's talk about some great third-party apps in the screen capturing programs. My favorite is Snagit. I've been using Snagit for many, many years. I mean, I use it at work every single day. I'm always using it for screenshots. It's my go-to anytime you can do screenshots. We talked about the other ones earlier, like the Mac screenshot, which is good, but I think this is just more powerful. It's a very powerful screen capturing tool. It's got image editing. It's developed by a company called TechSmith, which is a US-based company in Michigan, actually. It allows users to quickly capture screenshots and screen recordings of their computer displays. With Snagit, users can easily annotate, edit, and enhance captured content by using built-in tools like arrows, callouts, texts, and effects. Snagit is widely used for creating tutorials, documentation, training materials, and visual feedback. It does support scrolling capture, so you can do grabbing a full web page by scrolling capture. It does panoramic capture and video capture with audio. So it's a very intuitive interface. Robust editing features make it especially popular among educators, content creators, even IT professionals like me, and business users who need to communicate visually and clearly. So, what is in Snagit 2026? Well, it does all-in-one capture, it does panoramic capture, and it does screen recording. It's an amazing screen recorder. Records your screen. Now, again, you could do those in the Mac capture apps, but this is so much better. It does have annotation tools, the markouts, callouts, text, circling boxes, putting squares around boxes, easy to do. And then again, I said it does web capturing, and kind of what I'm doing now. You see my face, and then you're seeing the video capture. You can narrate something and do video capture with Snagit. It's really, really, really cool. And other things that you can do, there are real world use cases. Example, this is showing an example of an app bug. You can actually do it. You can actually provide annotated feedback if you want to call something out. Easy to do with Snagit. Here's another thing you can do, templates and guides. You can create these templates very easily and create step-by-step instructions. Super easy to be able to do this. The other thing too is, we don't do this, but I'm just going to mention it anyway, it is cross-platform. Snagit did start as a Windows application, but they got to Mac. It was not so great in its early days, but it's really gotten so much better than today. And both apps on Windows and Mac platforms are exactly comparable, which is really great. All right, so I'm going to review 3 items. There's so many things I could talk about. I could do a full hour by itself on talking about Snagit very easily. So what I wanted to do is just kind of capture 3 things that comes with Snagit. That's the screen capture basics, the new smart steps, and then the automatic redact that it's got available in here. What I'm showing you here is some of the ways that the capture tool and the smart redact and the keynote, I'm doing an actual step-by-step, and that button there at the top there where it says capture, that's the menu where you can go through and make the changes. So why not let me just show you a video and a capture of what it does. So Snagit's going to come up here. As you see, I'm bringing Snagit off the menu. I'm doing an all-in-one capture. Now you can do it. There's a number of different things you can set. You can actually expand things, change the to region or full screen. You can set it to with a preview, copy to clipboard. It does have a capture cursor. And another great thing that's on there is time delay. You can actually delay it. Now this menu here shows you all of the different settings. You can do it, where you can set it to for when you capture. And there's the time delay and copy the clipboard on and off. And there's different video effects. When you go into video, now video has a regional or full screen. You've got a webcam or a screen jaw. These are the applications you can send all your shares to. You can create some presets from the current settings. as well as go into recording the microphone, system audio, and more. It's really a great tool. So again, that's what we got as far as the interface goes. So let's go ahead and do a screen capture. So here is the screen capture tool. We're in the editor app, which is behind it, and this is the small little settings here. In this case, I'm going to do a steps. So this is we're going through steps, and we're going to capture steps. So what you're going to see here is I'm moving things around, and as I move things, it's creating a step. So I'm clicking the window here. I want to create that step, and then I create another step where I'm going, and I'm creating another step where I'm going. And I'm just going to highlight each thing that I want to show, and I can create some different gradient fills. I can make things look really cool, and that's what I do. You create the capture. So we've done the capture. So now let's see what the result was. So here's the result. This is the document that you see once you're done, and now you can start editing it. This is a way you actually can go through this, and this video is going to go through the steps. So I changed the header. I made some changes to see if there's anything I don't like with it. So I'm looking through them. These look okay. This looks okay for a step and another step. And then as you see, it's bringing down, it already knew what it was doing because see, it says click on gradient fill. It's seeing what you're doing on the screen. It automatically created this. Now I just went in and added more information. I said keynote steps, and then it's going through the next one. Here's click on keynote, and then being able to go to that screen and then come to another screen. And it does have that ability to be able to just go through that and make the changes. So that is really, really cool. This is a way of doing redact. Now, redact is a way, of course, we probably know that about some political thing, which I'm not going to talk about, the redacting everything on documents. Well, as you see here, Snagit redacts it automatically. In this case, I wanted to block out the boxes because it automatically knew those were addresses, and we didn't want to share those addresses with anybody when you're sharing this document with somebody. But it does have a blur effect on here. It does have quick styles. You tap Smart Redact, and what it does is goes through and does that for you. Some really, really cool steps here because it does have ways of being able to redact this. So that's all I got as far as Snagit goes. But like I'm saying, I could spend a whole nother hour on this, but I wanted to really highlight some of the great things that it does offer. But you're welcome to go check it out more, and you could cover. It covers so many things. They have some amazing tutorials, and it's well worth it. So there's another application out there that is Mac only, and this is CleanShot X for Mac. This is a screen capture the tool that's very, very good, and it works with Tahoe and Apple Silicon, so it's a really good app. And here's what the overview of what CleanShot X does. It has a new color picker to match all the colors on its page. Again, a lot of these things that CleanShot X does, Snagit does as well. I just didn't cover it all. I wanted to kind of give you some distinguishing things here. So it has a very clean UI, and it's a very minimal interface. It kind of just puts itself in the background up on the bar at the top of your Mac screen, so you can get to it very easily to get to the menus. I'll talk about that in a second. It does self-blurring backgrounds and floating thumbnails. It does have cloud sharing. They have their own cloud service that's included when you buy it, and it does screen recording with a voice overlay. So you can do that as well, like you can in Snagit. So here is some of the menus that are available and how to access all the things that CleanShot X can do. You can access core tools very instantly from the Mac OS menu bar. So it's at the very top there, as you see, showing all the other icons of things that I have in my menu bar. This is one of them. It launches screenshots, recordings, OCR, and more. So it will do optical character recognition on a document if you screenshot it, which is really cool. It does open the clipboard content or it pins screenshots to the screens. There's another option there that you're going to be able to go through this. And you see the long list of menus of items. You could put a self timer so you can have it time it before you're ready to actually do the screenshot. And of course it records the screen as well for you. You can manage recent files that are the recent files through capture history, and you can customize preferences and streamline your workflow. So it does have some pretty amazing things here. So here's another video I wanted to show and see what CleanShot in action. Here's what I'm doing. I'm actually putting some arrows in here, and I want to do a color picker. So what I did was I changed the color of this arrow, and I wanted to get the color of the same Buy It Now button that's there, so I can cover it. So yeah, it's not really right. So I want it to be able to actually blend so it's got the same color. So what I'm going to do is it's going to come back, and we're going to go to the color picker and check. And I want to pick that color. So what I'll do is I'll click the color picker, and it's going to. What I'm going to be able to do is be able to click that. I'm adding it to my colors after I picked it, and it's going to actually change that color, which is really cool. So here's the dropper here. I'm bring the dropper over to the color I want to capture. So I went to the edge, and I'm going to add it to my colors, and you'll see it'll add it as a color. See at the top there? So now what I want to do is take that color, and look what happened. And now it blended that color, so that button is completely cleaned up. I also could put boxes here with different colors here as well, and I can actually change that to that color. So if I wanted to block off that whole button here, I did the same thing. Look at that, because it already has that color stored, and it did that change. So really, really cool way of being able to do color picking in CleanShot X. Now, background changes. Here's a way to do the background change. And what you can do is I'm in the settings and I went into wallpaper. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to go through and I can do window screenshots. So I want it with wallpaper, or I want it to be transparent. So I did a screenshot, and you see at the bottom there, that's the screenshot. Then I can go in and copy and save it. There's the screenshot, and it has the box, but it does have the background. So what I can do is I actually can go through and make changes to the colors of that too, if I wanted to, and really do some really editing. I can blur things. I can change the backgrounds very easily with gradients, or I can take none. But none does have that the checkered box there, so you want it to be kind of clean. So, but it does change. It does make it very easy to change those backgrounds. So another great thing at being the ability to be able to do these things. Hopefully, I'm not going too fast here. I try to keep my pace here. But again, here's it is again. We're going through the wallpaper change, and it's a really, really good way of being able to edit these things. So let's talk about some quick comparisons here, what these tools go. And you can see across the board, Snagit and CleanShot does everything here, if you know. The screenshots is limited in Mac OS. So you can't do scrolling captures, can't do video recording, you can't annotate, you can't do a GIF or GIF creations and all those other things, but Snagit and CleanShot do those all the time. Now, I think Snagit's pricing is gone up a little bit since I've added this. I thought I had credit to this, but it might be a little higher than this. But it could be $39 a year. It's changed to a subscription model. Welcome to the world of subscriptions, unfortunately. Whereas CleanShot X is a $29 one-time purchase, and I believe it still gives all the updates. They may change that in the future. Any apps are doing that, but if you're a subscriber to SetApp, it's built into SetApp, so you're going to be really, really solid being able to use this app that's already included in your SetApp subscription. So if you use SetApp, so let's go ahead and wrap up here. And as we wrap up, we've explored how screen captures works seamlessly across the entire Apple ecosystem, from iOS, from iPadOS, macOS, visionOS, watchOS, and tvOS. Apple has standardized the experience, making it intuitive and efficient on every device. Each platform provides tailored options, whether you record the full screen, a window, or just a portion, ensuring you have the flexibility needed for your specific use case. And then the consistency across platforms empowered developers, educators, creators, and everyday users to communicate effectively. So I'm going to talk about some of the key takeaways we had for today. And the built-in Apple tools are powerful, free, but limited. Utilize built-in tools on iPhone and iPad and Apple Watch and Apple TV, as well as Vision Pro. They have some built-in tools. They work. The pro level apps, like we talked about, Snagit, CleanShot X, and Bezel, take it to the next level. Clean visuals, boost learning, troubleshooting, and communication. Practice equals faster, more efficient captures. You always got to practice and just keep trying and get the right screen capture that you want. You can reuse screenshots in docs, demos, social media, and training. One of the good things with Snagit is it has a library. It keeps a library of all the screen captures that you have. You can manage your library and delete things as you go, and it's in there. Very easy. So, and then the last thing is explore these advanced formats like GIFs, and Smart Steps and cloud sharing. You have some great things here. So, all right, with that, does anybody have any questions? I went through a lot there, and let me go out my screen here so I can see you, and let me know if you have any questions. Anybody? Am I hearing anybody?
I think everybody's on mute.
Okay.
I do have one comment. I use
Yes, sir.
Apple's built-in screen
Okay.
capture, and I use Command Shift 4.
Okay.
And if you tap the space bar, you just get the frontmost window or any
Right.
window that you select without any edges or
Mhm.
just easy convenience in case anybody
Yeah.
wanted to do it that way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, if it works for you, that's great. I think it's a very good tool that's built in, and if you're used to it, I know lots of people use it still.
Yeah, I have set app and I've tried CleanShot. It does more than I need. So
Okay, yeah, no problem. Well, at least you have it in case you want to go back to it.
yeah,
And
Got something,
and
Bob?
David, I have set app as well and do use CleanShot X.
Great.
But I wanted to let everybody know that Melissa Davis has a link to give you, she's an affiliate link to
Mhm.
give you an extra long set app trial period. And that is
Nice.
in the show note, not the show notes, in the chat.
I say that.
So it's there for everybody to use. And
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
I'm a longtime
Me too.
set app user as well. So I think that pretty much covers everything we have for you,
Thanks, David.
David.
Yeah, Melissa, have you been utilizing? I know you're pretty powerful doing your presentations. You share things with all of your clients. Is this something that a lot of these tools you've been using?
That my clients use?
No, you've used to share with your clients?
Absolutely. I started out in the beginning of the chat hoping that everyone will at least learn how to use the skill because it's what
Yeah.
helps technologists like us help them, so help us help you by sending us a screenshot of your question. It's just so powerful. I can see exactly what the problem is because it's a
Yeah.
big clue when you send me a screenshot. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's one of the first skills I try to teach people and over and over and over again.
Good. Well, good.
But
I gave you a
having
little
a
refresher
third,
then.
there is something to be said for using a third party application that you've outlined here, because as much as I absolutely adore the built-in screenshot, in fact, I'll actually dig out that tool and put it on the dock so that they can get to it in a click, because not everybody remembers the Star Trek feng shui, the different kinds of gang symbols that we can perform on the keyboard so that we can get those keys to do
Yeah.
what we want them to do. Sometimes a button is just better. I know Steve Jobs wouldn't be too happy about that. We don't like
That's
too many
okay.
buttons. We won't tell them.
Yeah, so I must have missed this. I'm sitting on a bench in the pictures.
No problem.
I was trying to figure out if that's running the whole time so that when you're ready to capture something, or if it's a dedicated project.
Are you talking about the screenshot app that comes with the Mac?
No, I know how to do that.
Okay.
These others.
These other third-party apps?
Yeah.
It would be a project, or is
Mhm.
it running all the time?
For Snagit, it does run in the background. So I mean, there's the standard keyboard shortcut that I use for Snagit is Command Shift C that initiates the copy. I showed you in the presentation where it has a timer. So sometimes you may want a timer to go on for maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds, so you can go to different places and get ready to be able to capture it. Sometimes you have to do it is because there's been times like when I'm doing some documentation for Windows. I want to click the start button and then for the menu to pop up, and a lot of times it doesn't do it. You have to time it. Just wait for the timer, then click it. It will grab it. So that's what's great thing about these third-party apps. I believe CleanShot X does that as well.
They do. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, so both those tools are good. Snagit's a little more expensive, and it does have a lot more advanced features than CleanShot X, but CleanShot X works really well too. That's why I wanted to highlight both of those. Yeah.
I wanted to add on to that though, too.
Yeah.
The thought I wanted to finish up the built-in screenshot app is
Sure.
great, and I really adore it. And typically I don't want to have to sell anybody anything. I hate having to do that. But these third-party apps do have their merit because I have seen multiple people, not just one, but multiple people, and it's happened to me too, where when you go into the screenshot app that's built in and you click that options menu, you can pick, that's where you can turn on the timer. So it is in there, but then it stays there. And so then every other screenshot you make after that, if you don't know how to turn it back off again, then you're stuck waiting 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever you set it to be. And then it's annoying. And then it might actually prevent you from wanting to even use screenshots. You might feel disgusted with that. So where the third party tools come in that you outlined here are great because, for example, again, in that options menu, and this has happened to multiple people, including myself, sometimes you'll turn on the option to have it copied to your clipboard instead of saving it into a screenshots folder. That's another first thing I always do is make a screenshots folder right there, either in iCloud Drive or in the pictures folder, wherever somebody wants to store it. And I tell either the built-in app or the third-party app, this is where I want all my screenshots to go to a dedicated folder. Don't put them all over my desktop. But there again, if you're using the built-in one, if you're not disciplined, and that's a scary word, if you're not going to go back and go through the process to uncheck that box that says, save this to my clipboard, then every other subsequent screenshot you take is going to end up on your clipboard, not in that folder. So the one way to get around that is to have this additional third-party app. So for example, I like to use CleanShot X or CleanShot Pro, and I have that set. Instead of it naming it, you can change the nomenclature. I know which screenshots have been taken with CleanShot because it's in the file name, and those stay in their designated folder, whereas then I can still use the built-in tool to do my screenshots for the clipboard. So even though it comes built in, sometimes there's that just something extra that it's worth it to have that third-party app.
Absolutely.
Try it out on setup, and you don't have to buy anything. Just do a trial and see if you like it. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But at least you try it out.
They all have trials. They always have trials. You can try them. Try them before you buy them. Thank you for your insights. I appreciate it. I knew I could get some good insights from you because I know you do that all the time. So appreciate it.
We still have that chemistry, huh?
Well,
Thanks,
maybe
David,
we're going to have you come back. I mean, the 10th anniversary is here, so I might twist your arm.
Okay. Not too far.
Yeah, it's coming. Does anybody else have any other questions? Or I just have a couple more slides if I can. All right, let me wrap up here if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead, David.
Thank you. Here we go. So I just want to make sure I mention this again. You can join me and my regular contributors on In Touch with iOS. It's I live stream on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central and 5 p.m. Pacific. On the YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Website, intouchwithios.com. As you see here, this was my 400th episode. I got to celebrate with all my friends here, including Mike Potter from Macstock, and Guy Searle, Jeff Gammett's great friend, Chuck Joyner, great friend. Martin Gensius is an amazing guy. He's a great guy, as well as Jill McKinley and Eric Bolden. We had absolute blast. It kind of turned into a big panel, which I'm really excited about because it kind of went from a small panel to a really big one. So it's been a lot of fun. So please check it out. I would love for you to check it out and let me know how you like it. These are some of the other places I appear too. Of course, I just left Mac Voices Live from Chuck Joyner, and that's Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. The crew there was talking about all kinds of stuff with Apple this week. Because I have a Vision Pro, I do Vision Profiles with Marty Gensius and Eric Bolden as well. He's a really great guy, Marty, and buys everything you can think of. He went and bought the M5 Vision Pro as well as he still has his M2 Vision Pro. I know, he's crazy, but he's a great guy. And we record on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then the Mac Show on the British Tech Network, I appear with Jeff Gammett and others on 11 a.m. on Eastern Time live on that network, and we just talk about the news of the week in in Britain. So, and then thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, you got my website. I'm on Mastodon and Blue Sky, Dave G65, and I thank you again, and I hope to see you again next time.
Dave, thanks so much. It was great.
Thank you. I appreciate all your time here, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll definitely come back, and I'm happy to be a member now. So I'm going to come. I'll try to come and hang out with you as much as I can.
Well, and I thank you as well, David, for your presentation.
You're
It's
welcome.
it's a topic that several of us probably don't know very much about and probably could stand to know more. Now we have one last job for you,
Okay.
and that is we need you to ask your S lady to pick a door prize winner. If you'd
All
ask
right.
her to pick a number between 1 and 29.
All right. Siri. Hey, Siri. It doesn't want to cooperate. Hey, Siri. Great.
Press the
Hey,
side button.
Siri.
Do you have it set to do the side button? That's
No,
what
I
I do,
don't.
so I don't have to say it and make everybody else's go off.
Sorry.
Or can you type to Siri instead of saying it?
If you're
Yeah.
on your Mac, you can
Yeah.
click up in the menu
Yeah.
bar.
Okay, I'll do that too. I'll mute
And-
my
Type
and-
in.
I'll mute my mic while you do it. Hold on.
I was gonna say we say Iris here. Thanks to Chris. Our S lady is Iris.
Well, David's doing that. Next month, Marty Gensius will be here and talking about the state of the AI. So please join us for that. You got a number, David?
I do. 20.
20. 20 is Mark Yarnish. Unfortunately, Mark has won. He won in November, so he's in the area where he can't win another one. Got to go back at least 6 months. Please try again.
You got it. Oh, just went right to 21.
21. Diana Mueller. Diana, congratulations.
Congrats.
You've won the door prize, and I will send that off to you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Are there any further questions for David or anybody here?
I have a
And
question about setup if you have a minute, Bob.
sure.
I can answer
I
it
got
too.
an email about a month ago saying that they're going to be changing their subscription model to single subscription apps and also how you sign in. Have you heard anything about that?
I probably got that same email. Now, I've had it long enough before they had their last change, and I still have SetApp on my desktop and on my laptop, and everything seems to be working fine. So I'm not going to rock the boat. So I
Yeah,
don't really know.
yeah, it seems to be working, but they said the changes are coming later this year. And I just don't know what that means. And I can't find anything on setapp.com about it either.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know
they'll
if I
tell
got
us.
that email.
I'm sure they'll tell us when the time comes, and
What was your
hopefully,
concern?
Well,
uh,
is the pricing going to be changing, or what exactly is setapp single app? Are they going to be doing where you like a bundle where you pay X amount of dollars for so many apps, or
I don't think it's going
No.
to change because I'm looking at the email. I read it briefly. It's about the changes to the terms of use. It says in
That's
their
it.
bullet point, we've indicated that developers determine prices for, quote, set up single app, end quote, which can change anytime. Users are advised to review the developer's EULA. So I just think that means that's an agreement between them and their developers. It's saying that the developers have determined prices for set up single app.
right? But what exactly is single app? I mean, when my subscription covers everything.
It could be, and again, that's something we'd have to look at that particular term that they're using, but it could be maybe when there's apps that are a single app as opposed to apps that have an iOS or iPadOS component, like for example, the app called
Right.
Do. So that's an example where you can get Do the Mac version on setup, but they no longer carry alongside of it in setup the iOS app. So it could be that
Okay.
that's what the developers determine that they need for their sales, for their support, that they can only afford to say sell it maybe discounted through setup for the Mac app, but they still want to make
Right.
money off of the iOS app, so they charge for that separately. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Does that
put
ease your
the-
mind just a little bit?
I put the terms of use that was on the setups website if you wanted to review it.
There you go.
Yeah, I look at it, it says set up single app means you can, as an end user, can purchase a subscription to a specific developer app independently or without subscribing to set app. Okay.
Right. Again, in other words, they're trying to communicate to you that setup isn't the be all end all for all the apps. You can still go to the developer's website.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Well, with that, I wish everybody a good evening.
Thank you.
And now, David, I changed the background behind me to a winter scene here in Arizona.
Well,
when
it's not
the
winter
time
here. It
we
was
did
like
have
65 degrees
snow.
yesterday, so
just to make you feel better.
there's no snow here. It all melted. We had 65 degrees the last couple of days.
Hey, Bob, or whoever, excuse me for interrupting. I
problem.
lost the survey. I had it up because I'm on my iPad and it came up before the meeting even started, so I minimized it, but I lost it. Is it still
Well-
valid? Can we still do the survey or not?
I think you need to do it before you sign off. I have a button here that says get the QR code.
Have a good evening, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go. You guys take
Thanks,
it
Good night,
easy.
David.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Talk to
And
you
I'll
later.
take a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
The problem is it doesn't get out of the way on the iPad either.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I'm on an iPad and that's why I lost it.
Yeah, well, I just end up having to just kind of fake the answers and submit it so that I can at least give some feedback. So I can't answer it, as completely as I'd like to. It just seems to be a problem on the iPad.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind for next month.
Okay,
it doesn't-
Lori,
it doesn't
I have
solve your
I have the
problem.
QR code, and I will mail it to you.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good
Night.
night.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everybody. Louis, good to see you. So proud of you for getting on here. Smile.
Good night.